was good, bad? What do you think?
I know we did some good things. We did some bad things. Anyway, I've said all along, I think we can shoot the ball. I think we can score the ball. At times we go too fast. We go faster than we're capable of going. At times, guys want to show everybody what they can't do. When we slow down, catching the ball, we dropped the ball 2 or 3 times. Really dropped it twice at the end because we tried to do something with it, look and try to make the next play before we made the play we needed to make. We've got, as I told them, Derek was the best rebounder in the league a year ago. He needs to be the best rebounder in the league again. Oscar's made his reputation rebounding the ball, and he needs to continue to rebound the ball. And, you know, it's kind of like, my dad said one time he was actually my best, my next door neighbor. He was about 6'3" and probably 215, 220 pounds, big old strong guy. We were scrimmaging before the season started. He shot every ball. I kept looking over at my dad like, what are we doing here? You know? Shot every single ball. My dad never said a word to him. Came over to timeout at the end of the quarter. My dad said, Bud, you know you shot every ball? He said, Coach, I was open. He said, Bud, there's a reason. They wanted you to be, you suck. He said, here's what we're going to do, Bud. You rebound, try to guard. If you get it, throw it to the bottom. If you do anything else, you never play anything. So, I mean, I'm not quite at that point yet, but we need to not do what we can't do. You know, it's about us. It's not about me. You know, and you know, you get guys. And I understand, I mean, I probably did a little bit too. I mean, guys sulking, you know, that they didn't get play as much as they wanted to, or they got taken out. I went, you know, it's one of them, I got taken out for making one mistake. You know, got taken out because you did what I told you not to do when I put you in. So, we're going to go through some growing pains, and I think we all realize that. And that's a good team. That's a good team. Then Akron's a good team. Then they shot it really, really well. I thought they shot it extremely well. And they rebounded well. But we can't just out rebound somebody by one and expect that we're going to win many games. We've got to dominate the glass. And we should. We should, with particularly when we have Derek and Oscar and Eminem. I mean, that's a pretty good front line. That's a pretty big front line, pretty athletic front line. They should rebound.
How much of that early foul trouble hurt Oscar, you know, as far as rhythm of the game and stuff?
I don't know. I mean, you really have to ask him.
All right.
The thing about it is, Justin, is I think you'll learn as you continue to grow. And I've beat Derek over the head with it constantly. You can't take plays off. And when you take plays off, you get taken advantage of. And then you end up in a situation where you get a foul that you shouldn't have gotten. You know, my dad used to say all the time, he said, how many fouls you get? You know, at first I said 5. He said, no, you don't. You get 4. The 5th one, they take you out. So you really don't have 4 fouls.
Right.
You don't have 5. That's a misnomer that you get 5 fouls. You get 4. So, you know, you can't waste them because you took a play off or you took a couple of plays off.
Right.
And you can't do things that you're not very good at doing. I mean, if you want to do those things, get in the gym. You know, if you want to shoot the ball, get in the gym, shoot 1,000 shots a day. JC did.
Yeah.
You know, so I let him shoot it. But, you know, if you're not in there and you know, if you miss him in practice, there's a really good chance you're gonna miss him in the game. So, do what you do. You know, that's. We were down at Villanova. We were down. I think we'd only scored whatever 15, 16 points in the first half. And they thought I was going to like lose my mind at halftime. And I came in and I said, you know what our problem is, guys? We're pretty good when we do what we do. We're not very good when we get out of character. So we go out the second half and we just do what we do. Each one of you do what made you the player that you are, and stay away from the things that makes you the player you are right now. Then we'll be fine. And we go on to win a game at the end of the game, you know. But that's a hard thing, you know. Everybody wants to prove they can do things that they can't do. Everybody wants to prove they're a jump shooter. Well, they're not jump shooters. So, you know, and we've got to get better. Derek goes way too fast in the post sometimes. And somehow we have to find consistency of how you're allowed to play in the post somehow. That wasn't very consistent. So.
You don't often see freshmen come in and look like they've been there for a couple of years, and I thought McBride kind of looked that way. I mean, he seemed pretty comfortable and did some pretty good things tonight in all aspects of the game.
Well, I think Bob, I know, one, he's had great high school coaching. Carl Kramer is a great coach. And two, you know, his dad has had a tremendous influence on him. His dad being a very, very good player at Xavier. So I think Deuce had an advantage of being coached pretty doggone well before he got here.
Defensively, what did you think tonight? Obviously, Akron
Thought
came out.
we were atrocious. We didn't guard the bounce. We didn't guard the ball screen. And, you know, we didn't do what we practiced to do. But I thought they're good. I mean, I think that's a team that could, you know, make a run at winning the MAC championship, particularly if they shoot the ball the way they shot the ball today. Because they spread you out so far with their ability to make shots that it really opens the floor up for them. John's done a really good job, though.
McCabe sat the last 19 minutes. Is that a matter of this message? You're saying do what you do. Is that what it'll take to get him back in the flow?
We're trying to win. Trying to win, you know. When you're trying to win, you try to put the people out there that you think are going to give you the best chance to win. And there's going to be a lot of times he's going to give us the best chance to win.
Coach, talk about the bench's performance and how the depth can help later on in the year.
Well, I mean, we've kind of talked about that a lot. If you count Jermaine as a perimeter player, we have 7 perimeter players. When we got it rolling again, we had a bad year and then an NIT year, and we got it rolling because we brought in four perimeter guys to go with Gary Brown and Jawan Staten, and we got it going. But we got it going because we had a really strong bench. And as it turned out, both of those 2 guys got hurt. And so it ended up being 4 until the NCAA tournament. We got those 2 guys back for the NCAA tournament. I mean, you gotta have, see, everybody has to do what they're good at doing. That's the battle. You know? You don't, it's not like one of them can run out there and say, well, so-and-so did this, I'm gonna do it too. Well, you can't do it. So don't do it. We don't have many shooters like Taz Sherman. We don't have many shooters like Sean. Well, you shouldn't take the same shots they take. you should take shots you can make. That's the battle that we fight with all of them. Do what you do, man. You're here for a reason because you did something pretty good. Do it. Don't try to prove to me what you can't do. I already know what that is.
It seemed like you got a pretty good push in the first half when you went to the smaller lineup. I know that might be against the idea of throwing it inside a lot, but
Well, we did, but you know, I want to play two of those three bigs together as much as we possibly can because I think that gives us the best opportunity to win in March. So I'm trying to leave them out there, but I'm not going to lose, you know, to leave them out there. So our best lineup, particularly against the team we were playing, was playing with one big and the rest of them a little smaller.
that also gives you a little bit more chance to extend the pressure a little bit more. I know not like in past years, but Deuce, Taz, those guys help you a little bit more there?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, Oscar's never guarded on the perimeter in his life, so it's going to take him some time, you know, and we're going to continue working with him. But we're not going to lose having him out there when he's not ready to be out there. You know, and we're not dominating the glass. I think the biggest reason we would play Derek and Oscar together along with Emmett would be to dominate the glass. We didn't dominate the glass. With them in the game, we didn't dominate the glass. Trying to win.
Yesterday you were talking about plus minus, you know, the merits
I
of
think it sucks.
But is it kind of an accurate measure of what Logan and Chase gave you tonight as far as quality minutes?
I mean, you know, some people would say that. I would say this. It can be distorted very easily. You know, you're not talking about what one guy did in the 15 minutes. You're talking about what 5 guys did. I don't know how you pull one of them out of there and you single out what he did and what he did in those whatever minutes it was, and as opposed to what the other guys did, or the flip side. You know, if you go out there with 4 guys that suck, you're pretty good. You're not going to look very good in that plus minus deal.
Bob, would you talk a little bit about Chase's attitude and the scrappiness?
He's been great, Bob. You know, he's hung in there. You know, he's had the opportunity to be on some very good teams. He's unfortunately opportunity to be on a bad team, and he's hung in there. He's really worked at it. You know, he's spent a lot of time in the gym this summer. He knows what he's doing. Plays hard. I mean,
He didn't take anything from anybody.
no. I mean, he made a big drive to the basket that I think in years past he wouldn't have done. I think his confidence is good right now.
Seeing that same confidence from Napper too.
Knapp was good. He just, you know, wish he'd have corralled that ball at the end. He'd had a really good night.
Coach, on McBride again real quick. In high school, if he's just a basketball player in high school, was he a bigger recruit than what he was? I mean, he might have gotten a steal there.
I don't know. He played on 3 state tournament teams at the highest classification in Ohio. That's pretty good. I don't know. He only averaged 13 points a game. I don't know why. We recruited him early too. You know, we recruited him early, and he's a very loyal kid. And we recruited him when he had a broken ankle.
Yeah.
So, I told you the story. He does try to sleep on my brother's couch. And I get the phone rings, I pick it up. He says, Coach, this is Deuce, I want to commit. Great. They had a broken ankle at the time. And then his coach is a very good friend of mine. And he called me and said, you sure you want to do this? I mean, there's no guarantee that he's going to come out of this, with being the way he was.
Right.
And I said, no, we're good. So, I mean, he makes plays. I mean, you can see why he was a multi-sport athlete.
Did you first see him in Cincinnati, or is it AAU maybe, something like that?
Saw him in AAU first.
Yeah.
Hey Bob, with regard to your lineups with Derek and Oscar, the positives are pretty obvious, but drawbacks that you're concerned about? I think you mentioned a couple of things that you could foresee being a problem.
Well, when you're playing against a team who spreads you and tries to drive it, obviously, that's not their forte. I was hoping we'd have a better presence around the rim than what we had.
Well, with Chase, I had asked him about the play when he drew the technical from the Akron player. He described himself as an instigator. How,
That's real smart.
how much does it help
We're
to have a
sitting here
guy?
talking about how intelligent he is, and then he tells you that. I mean,
But how much of an asset is it to have a guy who can sort of get under the other team's skin like that?
well,
Is it an asset?
if the guys in stripes knew that he was the one agitating, he would have been the one getting technical, so it's not very damn bright.
Anything else?
Coach,
Thank you.
Jermaine, kind of going off that plus minus thing, -4, but 67 from the field, let the team score. What did you think of his performance?
It was good and bad. I mean, Jermaine's been hurt. Jermaine's had a really rough go of it, and he missed a whole week, and then came back and he's out. He said his arm went down there. I don't know. He just needs a lot more reps. He hasn't had enough reps.
Thanks, Coach.